Hi, how are you doing today? Um, Life, the world is crazy and it's making me upset. So instead of talking about things that are making me upset, I'm going to be talking about a book that I am currently listening to that I'm loving. I, over the past 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, um, have been listening to the series called A Throne of Glass. I'm currently listening to the third book, Heir of Fire, and it is so good. So good. But I feel like everyone who is calling it romantasy does not know what the fuck romantasy is. Like, this is not romantasy. This is full on fantasy with a romantic side plot every once in a while. I mean, and I've been seeing, I think because I'm reading the books, I've been seeing more like reels on Instagram about it, and people literally saying what I'm saying here. The reason it is categorized as romantasy is because it was written by a woman and the main character is a woman. But there are like multiple POVs. Many of those POVs are male characters. This is not a story about like some magical girl who like falls in love and gets her happily ever after. Like the first book did not have it did not have a happily ever after. It had a fuck, this is where we are, I guess. She got what she wanted, but it's not exactly what she actually wants. It's more like she is not dead. The second book ended in a similar kind of cliffhanger where it's like, hey, this is like an okay ending, but you also know that there is more to come. And that's not what you get from a romance novel. That and I feel like the difference between fantasy and romantasy is a romance novel that is fantasy. That's how I interpret it. Because there are so many fantasy authors who have romance subplots, but if they're written by a man, it's just fantasy. And then on top of all of that, this series is so feminist and I love it so much. Like the main character, she is so badass. And yeah, she's dealing with a lot of fucking trauma, but like who isn't? In the world that they live in the world that we live in, who is not living with trauma? And I love how the POV characters who are men are like actively having to fight and confront their like misunderstandings and beliefs that are hurtful. And it's just making me realize. And the thing is, it's like, I don't want to be a misandrist. I don't want to be like, fuck men, they're horrible, because they're not. I have so many male friends who are incredible human beings. But I think when you are living in today's time and you are a woman who was raised in patriarchy and is continuing having to justify your existence and your beliefs and your strengths and the things that make you happy, it's it's really frustrating. And as someone who wants to write fantasy and as someone who wants to write big epic novels, I don't like there is going to be romance in my novels because there's romance in everything I write. That's just how I am. I'm wired. I'm obsessed. I love romance. But my fantasy is not fueled by the romance. The romance is just there as flavoring. And I think I will be a little upset if when I finally publish my fantasy series, it is put in the romance section. I'm just gonna be like, I'm literally, if that happens, I'm literally gonna go into Borders and take all the books and just shove them wherever they fit into fantasy because I don't even think, just, well, I guess sci-fi and fantasy, they're usually like in one thing together. Anyway, that is my rant for today. Be kind to women. Respect women. And if you haven't started deconstructing patriarchy, it's a good time to do that because matriarchy is just around the corner. Ah! Okay, I swear that's it for me today. I love you all. I hope you have a beautiful day, an amazing week. I'll see you next week.